relaxing ASMR session. And let's discuss together today and discover some of the most iconic banners and flags of medieval ages in Europe, whatever fluttering above the castles, battlements leading troops into crusades, or hanging in sacred sanctuaries. Medieval flags were rich symbolic artifacts that encapsulated a realm's beliefs and legacy. This guide explores 7 of the most iconic flags from medieval Europe, spanning empires, crusading orders, kingdoms, and maritime republics. Well, we're gonna talk about heraldic language of color, icon, and form that revealed how medieval people viewed them. And we're gonna start first with the famous St. George cross. St. George cross. Well, you can recognize it is the current flag of England, but in 12th century, the origins dating from 12th century, formally adopted by England in the late 13th century. Well, originally associated with Genoa, so adopted in 12th century. Associated with Genoa, adopted by the English Crusaders during the Third Crusade. So, adopted during Third Crusade. Stats and facts became the standard English soldier's flag. England paid Genoa to use the flag on its merchant ships for protection. So here is a quirky one. So in fact, England paid Genoa to use the flag on its merchant ships. Later it merged with St. Andrew Cross to form the Union Jack. So, merged with St. Andrew Cross to form the Union Jack. Symbolistics, well, red cross, martyrdom, blood of Christ, right house war, white field which symbolize purity and guidance. The overall symbolic is the divine approval in war and Christian knighthood. Alright. Next, here is a very iconic banner of Oriflame. Yes, Oriflame. France. It was the first banner of French kingdoms. The origin is 12th to 15th century. Originally, the the sacred banner of Abbey of Saint Denis. Became the personal war flag of the French kings. War flag of French kings. Stats and facts. It was used in major battles like Crécy and Poitiers. The symbolistic is that it signaled no mercy when raised. Alright, well, lesser known facts. Never the royal standard was a sacred war banner. If lost in battle, it was seen as a bad omen. Now the symbolistic. Red and orange. Blood, divine wrath, right house vengeance. The flame shape symbolizes divine fire, and overall it embodied religious warfare and apocalyptic judgment. Next, another flag or banner, the Holy Roman Empire banner, this one. So, Holy Roman Empire banner. Well, the origin evolved from 10th century, gained final form in the 13th century as a double-headed eagle. It was based on Roman imperial tradition. The double-headed eagle represents authority over both East and West, used by emperors like Frederick II and Charles IV. The banner design varied with different emperors and different periods of times, but this is the most iconic one. Later, the double-headed eagle was used by Austria and Russia as a heraldic symbol. The symbolistic is that the black eagle represents the strength and dual sovereignty. The gold field or gold background is the imperial power and divine favor. Overall, visual declaration of Christian imperial supremacy when raised. Good. Next flag is from Kingdom of Castile, Spain. Kingdom of Castile, Spain. You can call it a banner or a flag. I don't know how to name it correctly. The period is 11th century. Onward emerged when the Castile emerged as a Christian kingdom in Iberia Peninsula. The name of Castile, Kingdom of Castile, is derived from land of castles. Land of castles. That's why it has two iconic castles on it. Became the dominant power in Spain. Castile this is one of the symbols of the leadership in Reconquista. The Castile symbol was linked to the biblical heavenly Jerusalem. Symbolistics. Well, let's talk about symbolistics. Castile, strength, Christianity, and fortress. Royal authority, the purple crimson, royalty, sacrifice, and the holy war. The gold painted castles, light of God, divine kingship, and overall symbolistic defender of Christianity and a sovereign power. Good. Let's switch to the next. And the next one is the banner or the flag of Republic of Venice. So, Republic of Venice. The Lion of Saint Mark. Lion of Saint Mark. Alright, let's talk about the period and origin, 9th century. 9th century. Until 1797. Venice was a maritime republic under the patronage of Saint Mark. It was used to separate peace, lion with a book, and war, lion with a sword. So there were two types of banners or flags. One that resembles a lion with a book for peace, and this one which is a lion with a sword for as a banner as a combat use. The lion was the unifying symbol across Venetian colonies and fleets. The lion in the image often differed in design depending on the region or use. Venetian ship captains carried personalized flags, but one thing was the most common of all. The boar Saint Mark's lion on the flag. Symbolistic. The winged lion symbolizes divine strength and authority. The book, which held in its glove, was the symbol of wisdom, a love, and gospel. The sword, for this version, for the war version, readiness to fight, and fate. Gold and red colors, wealth and imperial glory. Next, St. Andrew's Cross. St. Andrew's Cross. Scotland. Well, let's talk about period 12th century. It was first recorded in the 12th century, first time. It commemorates the Saint Andrew crucified on X-shaped cross. Stats and facts. It was used as a warfare heraldic symbol first, and is one of the oldest national flags still in use. Was used widely by Scottish forces during the Wars of Independence. The symbolistic, the saltire, humility, the white, purity and truth, the blue, heaven and loyalty. Overall, the symbolistic of the banner is faith and nationhood. Okay, so we're talking Mr. And the last one is the Teutonic Order banner. Teutonic Order banner. Period. Founded in 1119 in Acre. Prominent in the Baltic Crusade was used. Military, monastic order and papal authority, Teutonic Order. Wow, stats and facts. Albert found the state of Teutonic Order, later Prussia. This was their main heraldic concept. It was feared and respected by Eastern Europe for military expansion. Later, this banner influenced German military symbols you may find, and a strict code. Knights were celibate, monastic, and vowed to crusade. The symbolistic, the black cross, monastic austerity, and Christian struggle. The white field, purity, spiritual and integrity, and the overall symbolistic is a sword of Christ in pagan lands. A sword of Christ in pagan lands. That's why this was the motto, a sword of Christ in pagan lands. Alright. Well, now when we look at medieval flags, we can say they were sacred signals, visual theologies, intricate designs, and political declarations. Their colors weren't just for the aesthetic purpose, they carried centuries of spiritual leaders, royal and cultural resonance. In every line and shade, they told stories of crusades and coronations, defiance, and devotions. Stories still unfurling today. Well, this was the lesson for today. Hope you enjoyed this ASMR session. And now it's time for you to write down some comments related to the topic. Thank you very much for attending another relaxing ASMR session. At least that was the purpose. And until next time, I wish wish you all the best. Bye bye.